You know, it's been really difficult for me in terms of grief processing in the midst of the decline of everything we know and the unmasking of so many illusions, you know? So when I was younger, I don't know about you in school, but I read a lot of books about the Holocaust and a lot of books about the experience of so many folks who've been oppressed in this lifetime, you know? And I wasn't in school for very long, but I remember the impact that those books had on me. And I feel like I carry that with me. When I learned about Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement, like, and I know that I learned a very limited amount of information, you know? I didn't learn, obviously, the radical stuff. The more radical things are what was considered radical, which is really just, you know, theory and thought, revolutionary theory and thought from Black and Indigenous people. And that was later. But when I was younger, I remember in my mind, I was like, wow, I cannot believe that the world let that happen. Like, I can't believe that there's any way that people can know that something like that's happening and they wouldn't all, you know, bound together to make sure that it stopped. And I remember being like, you know, the whole slogan is never again, right? So I was like, never again. We would never let this happen again. We would never ever allow this to happen again to anyone. Like, this is crazy. This is so inhumane, so torturous, so, you know, fucked up, you know? And here we are. And I think the scariest thing for me as I passed, like, someone who was tres banderas of Trump, you know, is the apathy and the reality that most people don't give a fuck, or they're too scared to give a fuck, or they're silenced, or they're tortured, or they're killed, or they're silenced somehow, some degree, or they're put in situations where life becomes a little harder for them. And you know, I really have been sitting with that, and the grief of knowing that the world that I thought we lived in, this post-World War II propaganda of, like, you know, we're never gonna do all that again, and we're the beacon of freedom, and you know, we fight for freedom around the world and all that bullshit. Like, it's not that. It's never been that. And, you know, we know this. I've known this for a while, but, like, there's an unveiling happening right now that I was not prepared for the amount of people who don't have a hard line. Who don't have a hard line knowing that their own money, because it's U.S. tax dollars, U.S. bombs, U.S. companies creating these weapons, and our billions of dollars being sent in aid to do these atrocious things, and that we've been doing for so long at this point in so many places that are right, you know? And it just is heartbreaking how many people are okay with it, or okay with putting it on a back burner, or okay with not speaking about it, or okay with just, like, the status quo shit, man. I'm so sad. I have a lot of grief about it. And it's like, and especially in daily interactions, because, you know, online, your algorithm will show you people who care as much as you do, but in real life, man, like, the apathy is astounding and heartbreaking. And I just wanted to say that.